My name is Deborah Berebichez, and I am the first Mexican woman to obtain a PhD in physics from Stanford University. As a child, I was very inquisitive. I wanted to know everything about nature and the world. And sadly, I was, like many women in the world, discouraged from pursuing a career in science because I was a girl. And it was thought that that career may not appear appropriate for a woman. And so it took many years of internal struggle for me to earn a scholarship to move to the US and complete the physics major at Brandeis University in only 2 years. And after that, having been quite new and recent in the physics ecosystem, I was invited to be a graduate student and do my PhD with the most recent Nobel Prize winner at Stanford. His name is Steve Chu, who was later the Secretary of Energy during the Obama administration. And after finishing my PhD, I, of course, was very proud and finally made my dream come true. I moved to New York to complete 2 postdoctoral fellowships in applied math and physics in a topic that has to do with quantum computing. And that is, I worked on the theory of waves to trap them in crystals, basically to make qubits, which are the essential component of a quantum computer. And today I live in Finland temporarily, and my role here is I am the lead scientist in the quantum computing and microelectronics team at VTT, which is the largest center for research in Finland. And we just accomplished the building of Finland's first quantum computer. On the side, I also coach and mentor young women to pursue and get inspired about STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math. And I also do some TV presenting. I have been the co-host of the Discovery Channel's Outrageous Acts of Science TV show for the past 11 years. Classical computers work with bytes, which are the smallest unit of information that we use to compute things. Now, quantum computers operate very differently. They live in a very weird world of quantum physics. So quantum computers work with qubits, which actually can be in many different states at the same time. And so because quantum computers operate with these tiny little subatomic particles at that tiny scale, they basically can do operations in this probabilistic way, in this new algorithmic way that can speed up things enormously. And then after this coherent time that we call, which is when they're calculating all these algorithms, then they come back to the classical world because we do a measurement and we get the result out. So quantum computers, not only will they be much faster, orders of magnitude faster than the classical computers we operate with today, but they will also be able to solve problems that are unthinkable right now for classical computers. Many very complex optimization problems are, as of yet, unsolvable with classical computers, and quantum computers will be able to solve them. Also, drug discovery, the modeling of how atoms work and subatomic particles get together when a molecule is binding to a different molecule is something that so far has been modeled imperfectly with a classical computer. But now with a quantum computer, in a few years, we'll be able to model nature with its own bytes, with its own pieces of information, which we call qubits. So we exchange byte for a qubit. And I just want to say that right now we have computers with 50, 60, 100 qubits, like IBM's computer is operating right now. We have D-Wave at Google. We at VTT in Finland have only 5 qubits so far. But in a few years, it is thought that there will be thousands of qubits. And when that is available, we'll see how the whole field of computation will be an entirely different animal. There are definitely a few businesses that will be affected first when quantum computing is fully operational. Those are biopharmaceuticals, like drug discovery, finance, cryptography, and transportation industry or any other optimization industry that needs to calculate many various paths and probabilities to solve a problem in the least amount of time or with the least amount of loss, for example. And so a transportation company that wants to figure out how to optimally route all their airplanes or fleet of buses to waste the least amount of fuel and to do it in the least amount of time, for example, will certainly benefit from quantum algorithms and quantum computers, which will calculate things in a much, much faster way than classical computers can today. And that's why one of my roles at VTT is to talk to businesses and help them be quantum prepared, what we call foresight. How to become ready for a technology that may disrupt a few areas that are important to many businesses. Quantum preparedness is something really important and actually rather simple to do. There are consultants out there and there are experts that you can reach out to, but there's also a lot of information about what the ideal steps are for you to become quantum prepared. You should definitely study what industries like yours are doing, in the sense of, depending on the size of the industry and what your portfolio of investment is, how much do you want to invest in quantum security or quantum for communications or quantum for R&D, or how essential quantum computers and their capabilities will be to your business. Definitely form a roadmap with your colleagues and with external stakeholders, meaning who's going to be in charge of the algorithms piece, because it's not always that one company does everything. So you may need to do quantum algorithms with one company, and then you may need to go and do the quantum control of the algorithm, that is hardware control, with a different company, and the actual hardware of the qubits, which is based on many different options for platforms that people are developing. Companies like ours, VTT, we actually help everyone to create this package of stakeholders that are going to help companies in each step of the development to become quantum ready. So all I can say is reach out and get informed about how you want to become quantum ready. But it's definitely a priority, and it should be a priority in your company for the next 5 to 10 years. I mentioned my story of having been discouraged to pursue a career in science, not because it's unique, but because years later, I keep finding many young women around the world who feel like I did, quite attracted to pursue a scientific or a technical career, but still facing biases and stigma and stereotypes that do not allow them to develop in the most optimal way. And so I realized, like one of my female mentors, Janet Matei, told me once, that with the privilege that I had to be able to get a scholarship and study and make my dream come true of becoming a physicist, with that privilege comes responsibility. And that's why for the past 15 years of my life, I have been developing mentorship programs, one-on-one mentoring. I'm in the process of writing a book about quantum computing for middle school girls. I also develop initiatives for companies to bring more women into their technical professional teams. And I really am very passionate about helping accelerate the success of women in STEM. My message for women on this International Women's Day is that it's never too late to pursue your passions. Don't let anyone tell you that you cannot pursue your dreams. If you can dream it, you can make it true. I participated in an initiative called If Then She Can, where we try to portray women scientists of today in ways that are relatable, modern, and clear for the public at large. And this is my message to you, that if I was able to come from Mexico City in a small school where I was told that I couldn't even do math, and then I ended up pursuing a PhD with a Nobel Prize winner, anyone can do it. It takes perseverance, hard work, and focus. So don't let anyone again tell you that you cannot do it. Right now, I'm working on several projects. First, I am helping various companies to become quantum ready. That is, to take advantage of quantum technologies in a way that's going to disrupt and benefit their industry the most. I also help companies in what I call the future of technology and how it will impact your business. That is not just quantum computing, but drone delivery and different food technology and energy, new energy technologies, et cetera, and how they will impact their various industries. I help them take advantage of those technologies so that they don't get completely surprised when they arrive, and how they can become more efficient, more effective, and increase their profits by adopting some of these technologies. So all of this we encompass and we call digital transformation. I'm also in the process of writing a book for middle school girls on quantum computing, because it is their generation who's going to be using the tools that we're now creating. And we need them to be quite fully be versed in this strange language of quantum physics. I'm also creating and about to launch a course for women in STEM. This is for older women who have been in a career for 4 to 10 years, who are now realizing that their potential is not fully realized. And they want to either get a promotion, or they would like to pivot and use their skills in a different way, or they want to learn data science or whatnot. So I'm about to launch an online course to accelerate the success of women in STEM.